A really good way to introduce moving from a shape-based practice into an embodied practice is to take baby steps. So I always say to people, don't change up everything in one go, unless you just instantly get it. But find smaller ways. And so if you have a structured-based practice that you work with, instead of just finding a Virabhadrasana, perhaps once you're in your Virabhadrasana, start with just the movement of one arm and notice. Don't try to figure out what would be the right way to move the arm or where the arm should go, but notice how does it feel to move the arm, the shoulder socket. And as I move the arm in the shoulder socket, how does the shoulder blade feel as it moves? So now I'm not worried about what's going on here or how it looks. I'm really into the sensation of the movement of the shoulder blade. And then that can lead me to the next part of the pathway, through under the arm, through the side of the ribs. And how does that feel as I move the arm and the shoulder blade down into the pelvis? And then perhaps I make that connection from the foot all the way through the leg up into this movement of the arm. So I start to feel something more subtle. And in the beginning, it's going to be just very physical sensations. Instead of, am I in the right shape? Noticing, how can I play with a bit of movement first? It's always going to involve adding some movement to it first. And then arrive back in stillness and notice, is there a sense of energy moving through that pathway that you were just investigating? Or is there more aliveness in the leg? Or do you feel a difference between the right foot and the left foot now that you've explored the relationship between the right arm or the left arm and the left foot? And so you just start noticing those physical sensations and just play with that. So then maybe you move back into another very stable, structured shape. And once again, pick another body part to explore. So you can add these little layers, and it gives you some sense of remaining within the practice that you've come to know much better, but you start adding little, what I call investigations. We just start simple investigations, arm circles or spinal circles, right? One big problem I have with so many really linear shape-based practices is we don't allow the spine all the different movements that it's capable of. We tend to think it must, in order for it to be safe, it must be forward bend, back bend, and twist with everything upright. But you couldn't go through 24 hours in your whole entire life without spiraling the spine or snaking through the spine or doing a multitude of different actions with your spine just to, try cleaning your house, try to pick things up off the floor, try to do loads of different things through your day, keeping your spine straight. It's not a functional way to move, right? So if we're moving more naturally, if we want to move more functionally, it allows us to become more embodied because it's a practice of noticing. And that's the easiest doorway in. Can I take these smaller movements and just notice, wow, what does it feel like to be in my spine and not be straight? And get a sense of revolving without being rigid, or shifting in the shoulders without getting rigid. All of these things we can work with.